Alright guys, I am back with my review of MTV's The Challenge, Battle of the Seasons, episode 12, the final challenge, last episode. And I did like this challenge. I like the desert setting and everything, but after watching this, I really have to say that last season's challenge, I think it was in Iceland, with CT and Diem, Johnny and Camilla, that challenge was way more intense. I mean, having to climb up that giant mountain, dig through the ice, all that stuff. Not to say this wasn't a hard challenge, but that one was just crazy. And one thing about these challenges, they really just wear the players down by making them walk everywhere. They get to a stage, they complete a puzzle, then they have to walk for miles. And that's really how they tear down the players, always. And I'd also really like to see a season where it comes down to individuals, and you can have strong players like Zach versus Chet versus Frank, and really see who's the best, instead of having strong teams get weighed down by players like Devin. I mean, it feels like it's always like that. CT having to carry Big Easy through the streets and all of that type of stuff. It's always another player weighing down the team, and they have to carry them and pick up the slack. And I'd like to see a challenge where it's just individuals, strong players. Let's see who's the best. But Brooklyn and San Diego immediately start having problems with Sam and Devin. Devin's complaining about her feet as soon as the challenge started. And even though Sam kind of walked a little bit here and there and she wasn't really performing like San Diego wanted her to, she was still miles above Devin in terms of competition. I mean, Devin just, oh my god, she didn't do anything. In fact, she actually gets him a penalty later. Ridiculous. But the first challenge is a puzzle, and Trishelle and Dustin are actually in first place. And they get to the puzzle, and San Diego passes them. Brooklyn passes them, and they're stuck on this puzzle, and then time elapsed. And I'm thinking, what the hell is time elapsed? Like, if you're stuck on a puzzle, you have to stay there until it's completed. I thought this was really weak, and it was kind of unfair because Vegas ends up coming in second place, and Brooklyn gets third. So it didn't really seem fair to me. Then the next challenge, they have to swing this ring around a hook and take shots of camel milk when they miss. The next stage, they have to set up this structure of tires, poles, and ropes. And Brooklyn is in first place, and they decide they're going to try and drag theirs. San Diego just picks it up and carries it. They pass Brooklyn. Vegas carries theirs, passes Brooklyn. And Brooklyn never really recovered from this. They were always kind of lagging behind after this challenge. But they make it to the helicopters, they fly to the next area, they have to climb some sand dunes, and then they make it to a camp. And San Diego comes in first here. It's night now, the end of day one, and they all have to take turns sleeping. If you have 4 members on your team, I think 2 people have to stay awake and stand inside this little box. If you step outside the box, you get a 1-minute penalty. I thought this was pretty clever. It was interesting. Instead of just saying, hey guys, you made it through the first day, have some food and get a good night's rest. No, they still made a challenge out of sleeping, and I like that. So they had to do this whole stay awake thing, and Devin screws up, steps outside the box, gets a 1-minute penalty. So the team that came in first gets a 10-minute head start on day 2, which was San Diego. Vegas was in second, they get 5 minutes. And not only does Brooklyn get nothing, they're a minute behind now. So day 2 starts, they have to run up a sand dune, and they make it to another puzzle, which was actually pretty crazy. They have to stare at these small words and find numbers to open these crates, and then they have to carry the crates to the next challenge, where they have to fill a sand box, and the crates have holes in them, so they have to pick up the sand and hurry to the box. But after all of that, they see the flag. And all they have to do is make it to the flag, and they win. And the first team there is San Diego. They win the $200,000. Vegas is in second place with $50,000, and Brooklyn gets third place for $40,000 because of Devin, pretty much. I'm glad San Diego won here. I thought they played a great game. They were always getting sent to the elimination rounds, and they were always coming back, and I felt they deserved this money. I know a lot of people don't really like San Diego, especially Frank, but I'm glad they won. And Vegas is another team I'm glad won some money here. And Brooklyn was a really strong team. If it wasn't for Devin, they probably would have won the money. But yeah, after that, we get the reunion show with Johnny Mosley. Literally, my God, everybody on that reunion show said literally about 100 times. Big Easy didn't have the nerve to show his face. Don't blame him. But they really just kept it simple. They had San Diego, Brooklyn, Vegas, half of Cancun, and half of St. Thomas. And we learned that Frank and Devin took a shit together in the desert. Sam gets mad at Frank talking about her performance. She walks out, and then she walks back in. It was silly. And we find out that Jonay and Zach aren't together anymore, and neither are Big Easy and Devin. Big surprise. And that was it. So overall, I did enjoy this season. I thought it was pretty good. Not the best season ever or anything like that, but it was still a really good season. And I'm looking forward to, I think it's season 4 next, or not season 4, season 24. Because I'm wondering if they're going to bring Frank back, Zach back, maybe some older players like Evan. And you know, some of these guys who are older players in this game, like Evan and Johnny, are watching this saying, man, if I was there, I would have taken Frank down. And if they bring them all back together again, it's going to be interesting. But I'm glad rookies won and basically took over the entire game for once. So it was good to see something like that happen and a change of pace and see some new winners, for God's sake. But yeah, anyways, it was a pretty good season. So that's my review of the big final challenge of Battle of the Seasons. Hope you guys liked this video. Leave your thoughts on the final challenge in the comments, and thanks for watching.